Welcome back, everyone, to another brand new second stimulus package and second stimulus check update. Today is Thursday, December 10th. Glad to see you all back. Thank you for watching. And in this update, we have a few things to cover for sure. In this update, we have to cover the bipartisan $908 billion proposal and McConnell's thoughts on it. We have to also talk about the temporary spending bill that was passed in the House to keep the government open, and also the House now adjourning for the holidays. So definitely several things to cover in this episode, and without further ado, let's get started. But before we scratch the surface, as always, if you have been enjoying my content, you have been enjoying my videos, and you do respect the fact that I bang out content every single solitary day for you guys with no exceptions, no excuses, do just go ahead, small favor, and smash that like button for me to give the video a big thumbs up. Would greatly appreciate it. And if you are brand new here and you're not already, do become a subscriber. Hit that big red button and the notification bell as well. That way you'll be notified every single time I do make a new video, because I do post videos now on the daily, sometimes multiple times per day. So let's dive right in. We'll first start with that stopgap bill that the House was able to pass just yesterday, Wednesday, and it will keep the government open for one more week, another week of funding. The stopgap bill passed the House quite easily and comfortably in a 343 to 67 vote, so more than enough votes for this bill to pass, and it will shift the government funding deadline from Friday at midnight to December 18th. This bill passed under suspension of rules, which means it required 2/3 of the lower chamber's approval, but it still has to go to the Senate, and unfortunately things are being held up, and a government shutdown could actually be inevitable at this point. So right now, Senate leaders are trying to resolve last-minute objections to pass two must-pass bills. Senate Majority Whip John Thune of South Dakota told reporters on Thursday that they have multiple holdups right now in trying to wrap up a vote on a short-term spending bill to avert a shutdown, known as a continuing resolution, and finish up the defense policy bill known as the National Defense Authorization Act. These two bills are a must-pass, otherwise we could trigger a government shutdown. The Senate has now adjourned for Thursday evening tonight with no agreement on a vote, and a government shutdown could happen if we do not get a resolution by midnight Friday tomorrow. We cannot have a government shutdown during this crisis. We need to keep the government open. This bill would keep the government open one more week in order to extend time to pass COVID relief, as well as other more broader legislation for funding and spending for the fiscal year of 2021. It would be an abject disaster if we have a government shutdown during this pandemic, and truly a shame and a very sad indictment of the government and its failure to act and do good and justice for the American people during these times. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. As you know, I give it to you guys straight. I tell it like it is. Unfortunately, McConnell is fanning the flames even more and exacerbating the situation. McConnell is now expressing his disapproval and hitting the brakes on the emerging bipartisan COVID-19 bill that came from a bipartisan group of lawmakers. He is now expressing and making it clear that Republican senators will not support another $160 billion in state and local aid as part of a potential trade-off in this deal. In the last 24 hours, we learned that McConnell's top staff have now conveyed that the top GOP leader sees no path to an agreement on a key aspect of the lawmakers' existing proposal, a slimmed-down version of the liability shield for companies and organizations facing potential COVID-19 lawsuits, in exchange for $160 billion in state and local funds that Democrats want. Absolutely ludicrous. Totally ridiculous. Just this past weekend, a very rosy picture was to be painted that we would have an agreement on this new bipartisan bill. It should be passed early in the week, potentially even Monday or Tuesday. And now here we are, Thursday late tonight, with no agreement, and now McConnell is creating a brand new stalemate. The Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, is once again creating gridlock in Washington. Delay, obstruct, block, and block. Those are the only words that he knows in his vocabulary. But at the same time, oddly, we have this total juxtaposition where Trump's top COVID-19 relief bill negotiator, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, has a totally opposite view. He's actually saying in regards to the bipartisan senators group, quote, "I think we're making a lot of progress," in his own words. This is also coming on the heels of the deadliest day in U.S. history in regards to this pandemic, and it actually is one of the top 10 deadliest days in United States history, more than a 9/11 and some of the biggest natural disasters we've ever seen in this country over the last few hundred years. The US hit a record high 3,000 COVID-19 deaths, and now hospitals are straining to capacity as caseloads are spiraling out of control. And this is just the start of a gloomy winter, as experts and analysts are saying that the top peak of cases actually won't be until around Joe Biden's inauguration, around January 20th, is when we can expect the peak of this virus to be, with vaccines rolling out. And even if we do get a funding bill passed, that's only going to hold us over until December 18th, but the House and the Senate are both saying they're not going to adjourn without more aid being passed. So the fact is that few signs of progress emerged today, Thursday, as millions of Americans are falling deeper into financial peril. And the sad part about this all is that the $908 billion bipartisan proposal, members of McConnell's own caucus helped craft it, and still McConnell won't support it. Totally ludicrous. I'm surprised that McConnell even got reelected to another term on election day. I'm surprised he did as good as he did. That's the current state of affairs and the current state of the union in regards to stimulus. Hopefully, let's cross our fingers that the Senate does pass this 1-week funding bill. Hopefully this could get through the Senate, and then we can start to talk about relief once more. And maybe McConnell will learn something, because this is not working out for him. But as always, I hope you did get value out of this update. If you did enjoy it, if you did learn something, give it a big thumbs up, smash the like button, and be sure you are subscribed, because this is such a critical moment in really the history of this nation right now. So be sure you are subscribed. More updates are to come. Hit the notification bell as well. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video.